Have you ever loved someone one day and felt complete disappointment, disgust, or rejection toward them the next day? Or maybe you thought, this is perfect, and then suddenly, this is awful. Or have you ever met someone and placed them on a pedestal until they made one mistake and then they became the villain? If yes, you've experienced splitting. It's one of the oldest survival mechanisms of the human psyche, built at a time when your brain was too young to handle emotional complexity. And today, I want to take you on a psychological journey. We'll talk about what splitting is, how it forms in childhood, who uses it and why, how it shows up in narcissistic and borderline dynamics, how entire cultures like the United States split collectively, how you can heal using tools from different types of therapy. If we change the way we split, we change relationships, families, and culture. So let's begin. What is splitting? Splitting is a primitive defense mechanism, a way your mind protects itself from emotional overwhelm by dividing people, situations, even parts of yourself in categories like good, bad, perfect, worthless, love, hate. It is psychological black and white thinking that appears when the nervous system cannot tolerate mixed or contradictory emotions. To a nervous system that's young or overwhelmed, nuance feels dangerous. So the mind says, I can't hold all of this at once. Let me split it into two worlds. This reduces chaos, provides clarity, and creates predictability. At the same time, it's limiting because splitting removes the space where reality actually exists, the gray, the both and. How it develops in childhood? Well, splitting begins early, around ages 1, 2, 3, when child's brain is still forming a cohesive sense of self and others. Children split because they must. A toddler cannot understand that my mother is loving and inconsistent. I am good and make mistakes. People can care about me and hurt me. Child's brain organizes experience in binary categories because that's all it can handle. If a caregiver is inconsistent, narcissistic, intrusive, neglectful, unpredictable, child cannot integrate those contradictions. So they protect themselves by splitting caregiver into good mom is safe, bad mom is danger. And similarly, child splits themselves into good me, deserving of love, bad me, I get punished. The more chaotic the attachment environment is, the more splitting persists into adulthood. Sometimes children never get the chance to integrate good and bad into a single world, so splitting becomes a lifelong default for managing stress, disappointment, and intimacy. Who uses splitting as adults? Splitting is a normal human reaction under stress, but chronic splitting appears most intensely in people who have an unintegrated personality structure. Psychodynamically, this is called borderline personality organization. It's not the same as BPD. So what are characteristics of this organization? Fragile self-esteem, rapid shifts in perception, fear of abandonment, difficulty regulating emotions, black and white thinking, lack of stable internal sense of identity. People who rely heavily on splitting often grew up in chaotic families, narcissistic parenting systems, homes with emotional neglect, families where emotions were punished. Splitting is a survival skill. In borderline personality disorder, splitting is a core feature, often seen as intense idealization, like, you're the best person I've ever met, and then followed by sudden devaluation. You never cared about me, I hate you. It's important to understand that this is not a manipulation. It's fear-based emotion dysregulation. Like, if I see the bad in you, I fear you will abandon me. If I see the good in you, I fear losing myself. So I swing between both extremes. People with borderline personality disorder use splitting to survive overwhelming emotions. In narcissistic personality dynamic, we also see splitting, but for a different reason. For them, splitting protects a fragile core self that cannot tolerate shame. Narcissistic splitting looks like, you're perfect, you validate me, you're worthless, you threatened my self-image. Idealization and devaluation become tools of self-protection. Narcissists split the world into winners, losers, superior, inferior, perfect allies, dangerous people. What are the main forms of splitting? Well, number one is black and white thinking. Everything is either amazing or terrible, without nuance. Then idealization, putting someone on a pedestal to avoid feeling insecure. Then devaluation, tearing someone down when they disappoint you to avoid feeling hurt. There's also moral splitting. People are good or evil, no complexity. There's self-splitting. I am either successful or a failure. I am either lovable or worthless. Splitting doesn't happen only inside individuals. Entire cultures and political systems split. Modern America is a perfect example. We divide into right, left, moral, immoral, good people, bad people, winners, losers, success stories, failures. This is partly due to media, which amplifies simplicity and extremity. Partly due to social media, which rewards polarized content. Partially due to American cultural mythology rooted in the American dream, success versus failure, moral binaries, good guys versus bad guys, religious narratives, saved versus lost. Splitting makes societies predictable and reduces uncertainty, but it also destroys nuance, empathy, and the capacity for civil conversation. Why humans split? Well, psychologically and biologically, humans split because the brain prefers categories to reduce cognitive load. The amygdala reacts faster to threat versus safety than nuance. Certainty reduces anxiety, and predictability increases survival, so it's an evolutionary instinct. But as adults, our growth lies in moving from binary to integrated thinking. Dialectical behavior therapy, developed by Marshall Linehan, teaches that reality is dialectical. Two things can be true at the same time. This is the cure to splitting. Instead of, I love you, but you hurt me, say, I love you and you hurt me. I want independence and I want closeness. You disappointed me and you're still a complex human being. DBT teaches both and language. It's the antidote to black and white thinking. So what are your tools to stop splitting? Here are some evidence-based tools from DBT's chemotherapy and emotion regulation research. Number one, try to use and instead of but. It's a small linguistic shift, but it leads to big emotional shift. Integrates contradictory feelings instead of erasing one of them. Then name the split when it happens. Say, I'm idealizing right now. I'm devaluing them because I'm hurt. Research shows that labeling emotions reduces emotional activation and leads to emotional regulation. Practice mentalizing. Ask yourself, what else could be true? How would this look from their perspective? Build tolerance for ambivalence. Healthy love is ambivalent. You will love and dislike aspects of the same person. Slow down your nervous system. Splitting is a state of dysregulation. Calming techniques reduce black and white reactions. Breathing, grounding, touching something cold, naming 5 things you see, orienting to safety. This will help. Then repair the bad self schema. Schema therapy shows that many people who split carry a core wound. If I am imperfect, I will be abandoned. Healing this schema allows you to tolerate mistakes, yours and others. Develop internal object constancy. Object constancy means I still feel connected to you even when I'm angry or distant. This is learned through stable relationships, of course, therapy, self-soothing, mindful reappraisal. Build a more complex identity. People who split have fragile identities. Help yourself build complexity. You can be strong and sensitive. You can be independent and needy sometimes. You can be loving and angry. Then reality testing. Ask, what evidence supports the extreme belief? What evidence contradicts it? Cognitive flexibility is the opposite of splitting. Why splitting hurts relationships? Well, because it creates intense breakups, idealization followed by rejection, conflict, difficulty trusting others, shame, self-hatred, inability to tolerate disappointment. When you split, you lose the ability to see the whole person, including yourself. Healthy intimacy requires holding good and bad simultaneously, not erasing one to protect yourself. Why splitting hurts you? Well, because you do not see reality clearly. You cannot maintain stable self-esteem. You become emotionally reactive. You feel ashamed after idolizing or attacking, and you live in a world of extremes. Your freedom from splitting is integration. Change starts with us, with you, with me, because we live in a world that loves extremes, a world that rewards outrage, polarization, and black and white narratives. But healing begins with integration. When you stop splitting, you love more deeply. You make better decisions. You repair your relationships and create more peace inside your mind, becoming emotionally adult. When enough individuals become integrated, cultures change. Because the world doesn't heal from the top down, it heals from the inside out. And that healing starts with you.